So you're trying to determine if you need lip filler or if you can start with just some Botox to see what kind of result that you would get. I'm gonna do a little series on lip filler, lip flip, gummy smile, differences, things that you can use, trial, why, all the stuff about lips series. Today we will start with lip flips. Let's do some lip flips today and maybe a little gummy smile. This is the best natural light that I can find right now. So I understand that there's a bunch of laundry in the background, but I cannot be bothered with that right now. So this week is our Galentine's Day event at the salon. So I thought that we would do like a little series on everything we can do with the lips. First, what we'll talk about is the muscles of the lips, how they affect your smile, lip placement, things like that. Anatomically, this part of your lips, the red part, is called the vermilion. This part that borders it is called the vermilion border. We have a muscle that goes all the way around our lips that's called the orbicularis oris. A lot of times you hear that this muscle is a sphincter, just like the sphincters around your eyes. However, it's pretty different because there are muscles coming in from all over here that incorporate into the orbicularis oris and help define what your smile and everything's gonna look like. So it's not just as simple as a sphincter muscle. There's so many other actions that come into orbicularis oris that give you the lip look that you have. And everyone is different. There are two parts to your orbicularis oris. You have the pars marginalis and the pars peripheralis. Muscle, orbicularis oris, two parts, pars marginalis, pars peripheralis, two different actions. Oh, yeah. Pars marginalis is actually within your red lip. Seems to come up about 2 to 4 millimeters, depending on the person, above your red lip, okay? Traditionally, when you see someone do a lip flip, they're gonna inject close to this red border because our pars marginalis is closer to the skin than our pars peripheralis is. Our pars peripheralis goes all around here, but it's set a little bit further back than our pars marginalis is. Our pars marginalis is kind of like a hockey stick, flips out, and then that part is close to our skin. So that's why when you get a lip flip done, people are gonna inject close to this border, also inject close to the skin. Because you'll see some people do different things with a lip flip, and it has to do with looking at that particular person and diagnosing how their muscle groups work together. Quite simply, pars peripheralis, pars marginalis, two parts of the sphincter part of their orbicularis oculi. One part is to help keep everything in, and the other part is to help push everything out. So like when we talk, speak, animate, pucker, stuff like that, everything else kind of holding our food in. So this is where the injector's experience part comes in. You might see people treating your lip flip differently, depending on how they see the action of your muscles. I use my Elsan a ton. I would be a candidate potentially for a gummy smile. However, I have a pretty long philtrum length, so I don't want to drop this any much more. The goal with a traditional lip flip is to evert this top lip. A lot of people who have this tight main tension line where like their orbicularis kind of meets the Elsan on the other side, and it causes a tight lip here. You might notice that when they smile a little bit more like this. And then the lip flip will help them smile a little more like that. When you paralyze this muscle around here, it won't contract as much and you'll get eversion of this top lip. Everyone's muscles are different, so some people may notice a little bit of flattening of their Cupid's bow, but that's something that they're willing to give up to get more eversion of their upper lip. You can also do a lip flip on the bottom by treating close to the border here to get a little bit of flip out. I don't see many people treating on the bottom much anymore unless they have perioral righted, actual wrinkles around their whole mouth. You do see people treat where they kind of feather up here. We'll do this for some people that coats a lot of this muscle evenly so that you get a good outward flip. If your injector is someone who treats a little bit further out to the pars peripheralis, it's kind of a little bit riskier of an injection because when you start getting further out here, this is where you're starting to get more of these smile muscles incorporating. And they start treating really far out here and they nip a little bit of your LSAN, your levator labii superioris, your zygomaticus minor. You could get a lopsided smile, or if it drops on both sides, you might not notice, but you might not get as much lift to your smile. But if it spreads on one side, you might get a lopsided smile. If your injector treats a little too close to your commissures out here, this is where your risorius comes in, like this. So this is kind of the part of your smile that pull your commissures back like this. It's kind of like the pooping baby face. If that gets hit, then you may have more of like a smile like this. It wears off in 3 months, but it is annoying to have that happen for 3 months. So these are things that you need to be aware of. It could happen with anyone because everyone's musculature is different. You might hear some people call a gummy smile correction a lip flip. They're two different things, but in the grand scheme of things, you're using Botox to alter your muscles around your lips to alter your smile and how your upper lip or lower lip perform. When someone comes in asking for a gummy smile correction or a lip flip correction, I kind of think of them both in the same way until I diagnose what they're really looking for. So it's important to tell your injector that you want more of an inversion of your lip, or if you're trying to shorten your philtrum height here, or if you're trying to get less gum show, or if you don't even know what's wrong with you, just ask us and we can kind of go through different things that we can treat. These muscles up here, your LSAN, this muscle right here kind of comes from here all the way down to your lip, and there's another part that comes from here to your nasal ala. Check this out. I got a strong one. Labii superioris that comes up like this. A lot of them cross all in this area here. If someone wants a gummy smile correction, you might see someone treat them right here. And that way they can get the LSAN, the levator labii superioris. Sometimes they're trying to get a little bit of the zygomaticus minor. It's gonna prevent that overaction of all those elevators. So you won't get a lot of the big upper lip smile. It'll just relax it so your smile's more like this. Sometimes you can't predict, even if you have the best injector in the world, you can't predict if this stuff is gonna happen. Unless you've been getting the same treatment over and over and over by the same person, they're doing it the same way, you're less likely for it to happen. I mean, it's still a possibility because there still could be some spread, but you're less likely for it to happen in those sort of cases. Ooh, let's talk about muscles down here and adverse reactions down there too. So if someone is treating to do like the lower lip flip, if someone's trying to treat down here and they get a little bit too outside the border here and a little bit of the toxin spreads down into this muscle here, your DLI, this is the muscle that pulls up on your muscle there. If you hit this, you may notice that you have part of your mouth is pulling down. You're never guaranteed that any of these adverse reactions won't happen. To wrap it up, we have a lot of perioral muscles. Okay, we have this sphincter that goes around here, but there's also a lot of different muscles that come in and have different pull lines from different areas and different tension lines that give the shape to our lips, give a little bit of the shape to our philtrum, our Cupid's bow, how we move, how we talk, what our smile looks like. We can look at how these muscles are being used and treat certain areas to try to give you the result that you want. However, nothing is guaranteed. Sometimes you have to play around a little bit. Some people love their lip flips and the results that they get from it. Some people just cannot stand the feel of it, how it alters their speech. I always warn everyone, if I give them a lip flip, that you are gonna notice a difference. Luckily, it really doesn't last the full time. Sometimes it's really the first 3 weeks that people notice it, and then it kind of gets better. Also, we don't use a high dose around here. So bad thing is sometimes it might not last a full 3 to 4 months. Good thing is that it might not last a good 3 to 4 months if you don't like it. We still don't like to treat any more frequently than 3 to 4 months